Hello and welcome to Richmond TV's Community Focus. I'm your host, Jason Robbins. We have a great show lined up for you today. We have John Moore, City Manager of the City of Richmond, and Jeff White, Director of the Richmond Lenox EMS. We're talking about COVID-19, how it affects the city, and how you can stay protected and keep those around you protected. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to Richmond TV's Community Focus. With me now is John Moore, City Manager of the City of Richmond. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you, Jason?
I'm doing well. We're here to talk about all the changes in the city over the past couple of weeks with the COVID-19 outbreak.
Sure.
So first up, what's going on with City Hall right now?
As of yesterday, there was a new executive order issued by the governor. And so we have had to make some changes since I last spoke to council and put a press release out through the city's website. So I can go through that with you today if you'd like.
Of course.
First and foremost, all essential services are continuing. Police, fire, EMS, DPW, and our city dispatch are all functioning as they always have. Obviously, they're all taking new precautions due to the COVID-19, but all essential services are being handled at the city. But as I mentioned yesterday, the governor issued a new executive order that kind of changed essential services for local governments, and due to that, the Lois Wagner Memorial Library and the Richmond Community Center in Beebe Park have both been closed. They will remain closed from March 24th through April 13th. And so that includes our curbside service at the library. So unfortunately, both of those have now had to close due to the new guidelines put out by the state.
Now with the library though, really quick, if you have any books that were due when they closed down, there's not...
They've been extended, yeah, a good thing to bring up, Jason. The deadlines for any books that you have at home right now have all been extended to May 1st. So if you have a book, you don't need to worry about bringing it back to the library until May.
Now, and the library has an online database too, right?
Yes, so all their online services are still continuing, and so you can check their Facebook and the city website, or their page through the city website to kind of learn more about that. I know they continue to post on their Facebook page, I think from home, some of the services that they have available online.
Okay, and then you were talking about the recreation department and the
Yes.
community center, so that has to close down too?
That is closed down too, yep. Now the trails, as the governor mentioned, she's still encouraging people to get out and walk and get outside, get some fresh air. So, the hike bike path at Beebe Park or the Macomb Orchard Trail are still open to the public. Everyone is just, obviously encouraged to follow the new social distancing guidelines, but at least those areas are open.
Okay.
Yep.
So I also heard in today there was a change in trash pickup?
Yes, we did get noticed by the Waste Management, the city's trash contractor, that in order to focus on maintaining pickup of trash, that they're kind of making sure that all of the resources are geared towards that. So beginning April 1st, they will not be doing bulk item pickup, where before you could call in and get one item picked up per week. They will no longer be doing that for the foreseeable future until things change here with the COVID-19. They also, unfortunately, beginning April 7th, yard waste collection should have started in the city, and that has also been temporarily halted. So we won't know until later when those two services will begin and start up again. So you'll just need to kind of continue to monitor the city website, cityofrichmond.net, to kind of keep abreast of further details on that. But as I mentioned, yard waste pickup will not begin in April, and currently the bulk item pickup is temporarily suspended.
Okay. Oh, go ahead, sorry.
And just to kind of talk a little bit more about City Hall, as I mentioned, we've had to fully close the community center and the library, but City Hall, DPW, and the police station are still being staffed. They continue to be closed to the public, but we are available by way of phone or email. The police station, if you need to come here in person, there is an intercom just to the right of the door that you can speak to a dispatcher through the intercom. And if they need to, they can bring an officer in off the road to meet with you. But we encourage everyone to call or to contact us through email for those 3 locations. City Hall, our hours are Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30 that we're available. DPW, it's Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4. And then the police station, obviously, and our dispatch is 24/7. If you go to cityofrichmond.net and click on either the news flash or the emergency alert that talks about our response to the COVID-19, you'll be able to find a kind of more detailed list of those, and along with phone numbers to contact for each of those facilities.
Are all these updates being put through the notification system?
Yes. So again, as we always have, we encourage all residents to kind of take advantage of the notification system through the city website, which is, if you're on the website and you look down about the middle of the page, you'll see 4 round buttons. One of the buttons is called Notify Me. And through that button, you can sign up through notifications either through your email or through text messages on your smartphone. And you can kind of pick and choose what you want to get. Do you want to just get the emergency alerts? Do you want to get all of our texts from all of the different departments? So we encourage, especially in these times, our residents to click on that notify button and sign up for those alerts, because we are, as we have to change our operations in response to new guidelines from the state, we put those changes out on the website through that system. And the other key component of the website there is the online payment button. Obviously, if you need to make a payment or drop off correspondence or something to the city, there's 2 ways of doing that. One is through the online payments button, which will, if again, in the middle of our page, it's one of the 4 buttons that's in the center of the website, and it's labeled online payments. You click there, it'll take you to a landing page that will walk you through the process of how to make an online payment. We also, here at City Hall, which is on Division Road, just to the right of the entrance is a drop box. And so if you're making a payment or need to drop off some type of correspondence to the city, we recommend that you utilize that drop box. We're checking it 3 or 4 times a day currently due to being closed to the public, but that is available to our residents as well.
Okay. All right, is there anything else you'd like to add?
One, just keep in mind that we keep getting updates from the state almost on a daily basis, if not hourly. And so we try to update our website and put out new information on that as quickly as possible. So our city website is cityofrichmond.net. And so we encourage people to go to there to see any updates on city operations. And then we encourage people to go to the state's website, which is michigan.gov/coronavirus. And they keep putting up all of their most recent updates on that page. So, again, as I'm sure others have mentioned, stay home, stay safe, and save lives. So we wish everyone to do that. And by pulling together and coming together as a community, we will get through this.
For sure, yes, we will. All right, thank you, John, so much for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back with EMS Director Jeff White. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Richmond TV's Community Focus. With me right now is Jeff White, talk about all the different things with COVID-19. Thank you for joining us, Jeff. How are you doing today?
Good afternoon, Jason. I always enjoy being here, but maybe not under these circumstances.
Same here. I wish I could have you on here for something else, but it's something that's very important to the community and something we need to talk about. So first up, what are some of the things that you can do to keep yourself protected?
So, you know, the social distancing piece that keeps being advertised by our leaders, elected leaders, by our medical leaders in the community, just cannot be overstated. We can really flatten the curve on this illness if we just provide a little distance between us and those around us. If we adhere to the governor's newest executive order, stay home and stay safe. And if we make certain that we do simple things, sneeze into our elbow and cough, wash our hands, and when you're done washing your hands, wash your hands again. Before the show, you had mentioned, feeling like your hands are chapped from washing them so much. That's a good sign. That's a positive thing to me when I hear that our skin's drying out a little bit from washing our hands.
Nothing a little lotion can't fix.
Exactly.
Now, when you talk about flattening out the curve, what does that exactly mean?
It means really just making certain that we don't get a spike in this disease to the point that it really just can't be handled by the current healthcare system. Frankly, this is unprecedented. We've never seen the need for this many hospital beds. We've never seen the need for this many ventilators. We've never seen the need for this much personal protective equipment for our men and women on the front lines at the EMS that are going in to these homes to treat folks with COVID or presumptive COVID cases, and then taking them on to the emergency rooms where again all that PPE is needed. So the only way to, if you will, flatten that curve and stop that immediate spread is to social distance, is to practice good hygiene.
So how has COVID-19 impacted our local EMS?
So really, we're still here. We're still on mission. We're still responding regularly to calls. Actual 911 call volume is down a little bit. We think that's a result of people doing what the governor and our elected leaders are asking and staying at home to some degree. So we're very pleased by that. But this is like nothing we've ever seen. We train for potentially our lives to be in jeopardy. We train for things that we can see coming at us. Police officers train for the idea of bullets being fired. Firefighters train for the idea of running into flames. EMS personnel worry that on a scene of a car accident with leaking fuels, there could be explosion or other hazards. And we're prepared for those things. You see them coming at you, if you will. This is the invisible enemy. This is something we don't know we're even affected by or infected by until days later due to the current lag times in testing. Even our people don't get tested at a moment's notice. And so all we can do is have this PPE, the personal protective equipment, the mask, the goggles, the gowns on when we come to your house for any reason to ensure that we don't get infected by something invisible and then we're unable to take care of those who do become ill with the virus or with anything else in our community.
Can anybody donate supplies like N95 masks or gloves?
Absolutely. We'll take any donations at the EMS, latex or non-latex gloves, N95 mask. If you find them, in your garage, if a contractor has them in their supply, certainly we will make certain they get put to good and appropriate use.
When you contract the virus, you're asymptomatic, correct?
Yeah, you can be asymptomatic. I think that's important. We are told, by sources within the health department and the CDC that some people shed this virus without ever exhibiting a symptom, yet they can carry it. These are the cases that you hear about where young people, especially might be thinking they're invincible. Maybe before we were 30, we all thought we were invincible. And so they're out thinking, well, if I get it, I'm not going to get that sick. The problem is you're carrying it to people who may in fact get very ill. And the people who may get very ill not only might be a close personal friend or family member, but again, are overtaxing the healthcare system.
Yeah.
And so they're taking up beds, understandably, because they're very, very sick. But that means when somebody goes in for a heart attack or following a terrible motor vehicle accident, some of those resources and beds may be taken up by people that are suffering from the COVID virus. And so, again, trying to keep the people to some degree away from each other right now, following those social distancing guidelines, staying home when you can, consolidating trips when you must go out. Are all the things that we can do to really help and look out for each other.
So when people are feel like they're having symptoms, should they immediately go to the hospital, or is there a certain point where the symptoms get severe enough they should finally go to the hospital because we don't want to overflow the healthcare system?
Right. So initially what I would encourage people to do is call their own physicians where they're open, try to obtain that advice from their physicians first. Let their physicians, after they hear about some of their concerns or conditions, provide them some counsel. They may not have them come into their office, but certainly provides them some counsel as to whether or not this sounds like a situation where you can remain at home or not. There are also COVID hotline numbers. Both the CDC and the county health department have those available. Okay. And I would encourage somebody that might just be running a fever at home or just have a mild cough to initially make their calls there. Their physicians may or may not be open. We hear anecdotal reports of some physicians' offices closing for the time being. And so you can use those hotline numbers. You can Google those, look them up on Facebook, and make those contacts. And they will provide you good recommendations with regards to that. We're finding in some cases that people with very mild symptoms are simply being told to stay at home until the symptoms become a bit worse, and then come into the hospitals for testing and or treatment. Certainly, anybody who is having a cough that they really just can't control, or a cough that is causing shortness of breath or shortness of breath on their own, still need to activate the 911 system. That is still what we are here for. All of our local ambulances are on the road. All of our units are currently staffed at the EMS. We do have one employee currently in quarantine awaiting test results.
Okay. All right. Well, how long does the test take to?
Right now, they're still taking about 5 days to turn a test around. Okay. So if you are exposed, and even if they test you, you won't know anything for about 5 days. Okay. What they're going to do at the hospital, or what the EMS is going to do if we arrive there, is we're going to treat you for your symptoms and your condition. Your symptoms and condition are going to be your cough and your shortness of breath and potentially your fever. We treat those the same whether this is COVID, the flu, or any other infectious disease. So we don't have a magic bullet for COVID, but if your symptoms are severe enough that it's keeping you from sleeping, it's keeping you from eating, it's keeping you from being able to complete a sentence. We want you to activate the 911 system. Okay. If you have a fever and a mild cough, like the seasonal flu or allergies, would like you to seek some help from, like I say, one of the COVID hotlines or your own personal physician before dialing the 911 system.
Okay.
Jason, before we leave, I just want to share with everybody, and I think this is important for our community to know, is this isn't, you said to me during one of our breaks, is it all doom and gloom? This isn't all doom and gloom. We will get through this together. We will get through this by taking care of each other, by looking out for, maybe our elderly neighbors, by looking out for those that have pre-existing medical conditions, by social distancing where we can, by consolidating trips when we go out. Don't make a trip on Tuesday for gas, a trip on Wednesday for medicine, and a trip on Thursday to the grocery store. Do them all at the same time. Remember, we all struggle with anxiety and being frightened during these times, even those of us who, are taught to run at these things instead of away from them. But I'm reminded every morning actually by my wife, who for the past week has told me each day when I leave the house, because I always say I've spent 30 years here in Richmond looking forward to going to work every morning. And I still do that every day, even with COVID going on, maybe now more than ever. But I have those same anxieties that all of you do for my family, my friends, and our community. And she reminds me every morning, I think she looks it up on TV before I leave the house, and she tells me how many people have recovered from COVID. And that's the important message here. The people that have recovered from COVID far outweigh the people who have not. So think about when you get up in the morning and turn on the morning news and the first thing you see is COVID. For me, look at that number of the people that are recovering thanks to the work of the healthcare providers in the community and the community at large who's doing the right thing. And take a moment to say a little prayer for those who are not.
All right. Thank you so much, Jeff, for joining me today.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming on the show and talking to us about this. I know it's not very fun to do so, but we really appreciate it.
Have a great day.
Yep, you too. All right, we will have all kinds of information in the description below, linking to the CDC website and the governor's website for all the latest in all the executive orders that are coming out from Lansing. You can catch all of our programming on Richmond TV. Our programming may change a little bit because there's not as much going on in the town right now, as we talked about in our first segment. So we're going to be playing a lot of old stuff right now, including we have the Richmond High School Talent Show all the way back from 2005. So please enjoy the program we're going to be presenting, and we will try and bring you as much new content as we can. You can always check us out on Richmond TV, our Richmond TV YouTube channel. Just search it in Google, Richmond TV 12, and it will be there. Or you can watch us on Comcast Channel 6 within the Richmond area. Thank you for joining us, and have a great day.